going to beat Daniel Cormier because I'm the better fighter, and I know I've got a bigger heart.
This is my time now. Dan Henderson has had his time. This is just another roadblock in my journey to accomplish my ultimate goal of being the UFC champion.
Eu acho que o Dillashaw tá falando demais, né? Eu acho que eu tô indo com os melhores do mundo, a parte em pé, minha parte de pé, eu acho bem mais superior do que a dele, então ele tá totalmente errado no que ele tá falando.
I'm glad that Renan Barao's questioning my striking, you know, thinking that I have too much confidence in it and I have too many holes in my game. But ultimately, I'm going to prove everyone wrong and walk out of there the UFC champion tonight.
The Octagon is right here at home in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. This is UFC 173, Barao versus Dillashaw. Let's get things started. Hi again, everybody. I'm Mike Goldberg. Welcome once again to the Ultimate Fighting Championship. John Jones, Jose Aldo, list them all, but don't forget to utilize the name Renan Barao. Unbeaten in nearly a decade, he is arguably the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world today. Tonight, he will once again be tested by a member of Team Alpha Male. And will the Baron reign supreme? We will find out. My partner, as always, Joe Rogan. It's fun when we get to cover these great fighters. Jose Aldo, his teammate, Renan Barao.
It's so fun to cover the fighters that are the elite of the elite, and that's what Renan Barao is. If he's not the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world, he's certainly in the running. It's hard to figure out who subjectively is the #1 guy, but Renan Barao is spectacular in every form. He is spectacular with his striking. His ground game is elite. He's explosive, he's creative, and he's unbelievably successful. What I love about this fight is TJ Dillashaw has a shot at the mountain, and that becomes a big part of this fight. Can TJ do it? We know he has spectacular potential. Can he rise to the occasion? He's a great wrestler. He has great conditioning. Can he push this man, Renan Barao, into deep water, and can he take that title?
And let us not forget Demetrius Johnson, Mighty Mouse, as one of the greatest pound-for-pound fighters today. But when you talk about greatest of all time, oftentimes you talk about the legend, Hendo Dan Henderson.
Well, Dan Henderson is a real legend. He's not just a legend, he's just one of the rarest fighters ever. A guy who had 2 titles consecutively in Pride. A guy who knocked out Fedor Emelianenko, the greatest heavyweight ever, as a heavyweight. I mean, Dan Henderson, there's a lot of people that will say he's a one-trick pony, but that trick is really good.
Absolutely.
That right-hand trick is one of the most ridiculous tricks ever. He's got one of the best weapons ever in MMA in his right hand, but he also has great wrestling, and so does Daniel Cormier, and that's what makes it really interesting.
And it's an historic matchup, Joe, when you look at the fact both these men, 2-time U.S. Olympians.
And Daniel Cormier is so spectacular as a heavyweight. Won the Strikeforce Heavyweight Grand Prix, has beaten not 1 but 2 former UFC heavyweight champions in Josh Barnett and Frank Mir. This is an outstanding fight. The real question becomes, can Dan Henderson find the chin of Daniel Cormier? Can he utilize his wrestling to keep this fight standing? can he avoid the hand speed and fluid combinations? The fluid combinations of Daniel Cormier are a lot of things, is one thing that a lot of people overlook.
And can he land the H-bomb? Will it explode on the chin of Cormier? Also tonight, a collision of welterweight stars. In the bantamweight division, Japan's Takeya Mitsugaki, winner of 4 straight UFC fights, faces Francisco Rivera, who's on a 6-fight unbeaten streak. And at 170, Robbie Lawler, who just battled Johnny Hendricks for the welterweight belt, is right back in the octagon to fight Jake Ellenberger, who has earned 20 career wins by knockout. Our rules of the octagon: 3 judges score the bout duration, 3 5-minute rounds. Tonight's championship fight is scheduled for 5 5-minute rounds. A 10-point must scoring system is in effect, with the round winner gaining 10 points, his opponent 9 or less, based on effective striking, grappling, aggression, and octagon control. Jam-packed MGM Grand Garden Arena. With 41 combined professional wins, former WEC champion Jamie Varner and fellow veteran James Krause are set to get things started at 155. James Krause never got the chance to challenge Jamie Varner when both competed in the WEC. But tonight, these 2 exciting 155-pound standouts will finally get the chance to throw down in the UFC octagon.
I'm expecting a fight of the night type performance between me and James Krause tonight. I like the matchup. He likes to stand and bang, and I like to stand and bang.
There's probably not going to be much of a feeling out process with me and Jamie. It's going to be an exciting fight for sure.
After putting together an outstanding resume that includes fights against the top competition available, James Krause got his call to the big show in 2013 and picked up 2 bonuses for his trouble, submitting Sam Stout in one of the best fights of the year. Tonight, he'll face fellow action hero Jamie Varner.
I'm the new guy rising up the ranks, and I think it's my time. I think his time's gone, and it's time to show everybody what I'm all about.
Former WEC lightweight champion Jamie Varner built his reputation for action-packed fights in the blue cage. And once he returned to the octagon, he didn't skip a beat, with 2 fight of the night scraps with Joe Lozon and Abel Trujillo thrilling fans from beginning to end.
I go into every fight looking for the finish, but I specifically go into this fight looking to finish James Krause, and early.
James Krause is coming into this fight off of a disappointing loss to Bobby Green, a controversial loss. It was a very good fight, but unfortunately, the height difference between the 2 fighters led to a couple of low blows, and one of them led to the stoppage of the fight. Big John McCarthy ruled it a stoppage. I think it was a shot that landed on the cup, but Big John felt it landed on the stomach as well. James Krause was very disappointed by this. He has a chance tonight to rebound. Before that fight, he had an outstanding fight against Sam Stout. Sam Stout, a long-time UFC veteran, and James Krause put on a really fine performance against Stout. Utilized his long reach, excellent kickboxing skills, and eventually caught him in a beautiful guillotine choke for the finish in the 3rd round of a very exciting fight. That was a big performance for James Krause. Krause is long, he's creative, he's very well versed in all the aspects of MMA, and at 20-5, he's got a lot of experience, both in the UFC, the 2 fights that he's had, but more importantly in the WEC and outside the organization in other smaller shows. He's built up a good record, and at 27 years of age, it feels like this is his time to shine.
The James Krause. 20 professional wins, 18 amateur wins, and looking for the victory here tonight against the former WEC champion, Jamie Varner. Born in Phoenix, training in Tempe, Jamie Varner just opened his own gym in the desert. He has been around this game for a long time, Joe. He first fought in the UFC at age 21. He was a WEC champion at age 23. And while we feel like we've been watching him for a long time and that he'd be older, he is yet to be 30 years old, which means the best Jamie Varner may still be ahead of us.
I believe it is. You know, Jamie Varner has had ups and downs and real low downs. At one point in time, he had left the UFC and went to another organization and was losing to guys that just he would have never lost to in his prime, and a lot of people thought it was over. He came back, and he came back in a big way against Edson Barboza. He got the call back to the UFC and put on a show. It was back against the wall, Jamie Varner, and that's the one who fights the best. When Jamie Varner is in shape, he's got his back against the wall, he's a very exciting and explosive fighter. He takes risks, he's got great skills, he's got a deceptively long and powerful right hand, and that's what he used to clip Edson Barboza with to get that big comeback victory. When he's at his best, he's world class.
Heavy-handed boxer with a great wrestling base. He has trained with some of the best over the years at Arizona Combat Sports, at the lab with Benson Henderson. Now, as I mentioned, inside his own gym, Impact MMA. The one thing about Jamie Varner, though, is on a smaller basis, he's a lot like a Dan Henderson. If he hits you with that right hand, it could be lights out.
Well, he's a risk taker, too. That's one of the things that I like about Jamie. He's wild, and he makes for very, very exciting fights. His last fight against Abel Trujillo, what a crazy fight that was until Trujillo caught him. I mean, it was just a wild, crazy slugfest between two guys who both fight that way. They're both wild dudes who are not afraid to lose and take risks. And it's one of the reasons why Jamie is so exciting to watch. And it's one of the reasons why this matchup is so interesting. Krause is long and intelligent, and I like this matchup.
Our tale of the tape for this lightweight fight, Jamie Varner, 2 years the elder of James Krause. Look at that, Krause is 6'2", Varner just 5'8". Krause with the reach advantage. To officially get things started, here's the veteran voice of the Octagon, Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is 3 rounds in the UFC lightweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record, 20 wins, 5 losses. He stands 6 feet 2 inches tall, weighing in at 156 pounds. Fighting out of Lee Summit, Missouri, the James Krause. And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record, 9 wins, 1 draw, 1 no contest. He stands 5 feet 8 inches tall, weighing in at 155 pounds. Fighting out of Tempe, Arizona, he is a former WEC lightweight champion, Jamie Varner. And when the action begins, our referee in charge, Jason Herzog.
Jason Herzog, our referee. James Krause, Jamie Varner. The beautiful Ariani.
Are you ready? Are you ready? Fight!
White trunks for Krause, black trunks for Varner. Reach advantage for James Krause.
Well, Krause has a reach advantage, but Varner, again, has a very deceptively long right hand. He uses that same explosion that made him a good wrestler and closes the distance very quickly to land that right hand. When you think about reach, though, you have to take into consideration not just the arms of Krause, but the legs, which we don't measure. The legs are a big difference, and it's a big factor. A factor of I don't know how many inches, but it's going to be a big difference between where Krause can kick Varner, but Varner can't kick Krause. And you're seeing it right there.
Again, a good right hand by Krause.
Right hand over the top by Krause right there. He's checked a few of those low kicks.
There's that push forward that you spoke of from Varner, who said, James and I have been buddies for a while.
He just tagged him. He tagged him with a front kick to the face, and then he just tagged him with 2 punches. And good head movement by Krause there of avoiding. Oh, something happened. What happened?
Oh, he looked down for a second. He's in trouble here.
Yeah, he's badly hurt. I don't know what happened.
Krause looking to finish this fight quickly.
Boy, that was weird. It looked like something went wrong in his leg. It's very difficult to see what's going on here.
Kraus trying to take his time now and work towards a definitive finish. Varner trying to get up. A couple of more big shots.
Jamie's got something wrong with his foot. His left ankle is badly hurt.
Up the middle. Varner trying to stay in this fight. Big swing.
Varner is going to have to
He's looking to finish it with
his
one strike.
left leg. There's something seriously wrong with his left foot.
And it got kicked again, Joe. May have pulled a calf muscle even.
No.
Look at that.
There's something wrong with his foot. And he shot in for the takedown, and now he's caught in the guillotine. He may be on desperation mode here. And Kraus, who finished Sam Stout with this same move, now uses it to move to mount.
Well, the way he threw that right hand,
here.
the way he threw that right hand, Joe, he definitely seemed to be in desperation mode.
Yeah, there's something wrong with his left foot. It's really difficult to see. We'll try to figure it out in between rounds if it gets there. But there's something wrong. And right now, Jamie Varner has 2 minutes and 30 seconds to try to figure out how to finish this fight. And who knows if he could even continue into the second round. And Kraus tags him with a nice short elbow. In half guard here.
Varner staying in the fight for now, though. Injured or not, Jamie Varner trying to stick around here and work through this deep water.
Yeah, it's probably better for him to be on the ground here.
Yeah.
Wow, Kraus went for the guillotine again, but this time Jamie countered it, and now Jamie's on top inside control. Big elbow by Varner.
Varner in a great position here for his ground and pound.
Varner's got him cut. Kraus is trying to shake him off. Varner tagged him.
Big shots from Jamie Varner now. Oh my! Swinging for the fences.
Kraus lost his mouthpiece, it's bleeding. Jamie Varner's left foot is like dangling around at the end of his ankle.
And again, he tripped on it.
It's barely working.
He's not going anywhere though,
No.
Joe.
Well, he's hanging in there, but there's something really wrong with his left foot.
The knee. Oh, and he went
Just
down
gave
one
out.
more time.
He's not going to be able to fight into the second round. Kraus is trying to hold on to him here, roll him over. Kraus has got to be aware at this point there's something wrong with him.
And Varner fighting on one leg.
Big knee to the body.
Jamie not going anywhere yet. Kraus with good discipline on what strike he's going to use.
He's going to make him stand up.
Varner bloodied up. 40 seconds.
And Jamie's trying to figure out how to stand up.
Kind of
It's like he's on new legs,
right?
Yeah. I mean, he's putting everything on his right leg is what he's doing.
Again, he kicks that leg.
And tags him with a big punch.
Varner's still in the fight.
You gotta love the heart of Jamie.
Oh, and
Varner.
again.
Yeah, his left leg is gone.
15 seconds.
His corner would be wise to stop this fight in between rounds. I love the fact that he's trying to fight with heart, and then he's trying to win, but he's in a bad position here. It's not good.
What a display of strength and character. Let's listen in and see what they say about his foot.
He just said it's over. He just said it's over.
I gotta stop, okay? My ankle's broke.
He said his ankle's broke. Yeah.
Hey, it's done. It's over. It's over.
He just fought for about 4 minutes on a broken ankle, Joe.
And he tried to win. He tried to win with everything he had. I mean, you gotta love and respect Jamie Varner for that. Incredibly impressive.
Fighter cannot continue due to an injury.
So let's see if we can see it here. It might have been from that kick, and look, there's one, and look, he's trying to move on it, and look, it's just given out on him. And here's another one. Look, it's just completely giving out on him. You know, all respect to Jamie Varner because he never once thought about quitting.
Nope.
He kept swinging for the fences. He kept trying to stand on it, but all the while knew that it was probably broken, but just dealt with it and tried to win that fight.
Bruce Buffer has the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, at the end of the first round, referee Jason Herzog has called a stop to this contest, declaring the winner by TKO, the James Krause.
The victory to James Krause. Here is Joe.
All right, I'm here with the winner, James Krause. Jamie Varner appears to have broken his ankle in that first round. First of all, props to Jamie Varner for trying to fight through that first round with a broken ankle. What an incredibly tough dude. And congratulations to you, James. This is a big victory for you, especially coming off of a very disappointing and controversial loss in your last fight.
Yeah, first things first, I want to say, first of all, it's been a long time to come here and talk to you, man. Second of all, I want to thank all my folks back home at Glory MMA in Lee Summit, Missouri for getting me ready for this fight. I could not do this without you guys, my team here. I'm so sorry to you guys fans that you missed out on even better fight that could have been because of Jamie. You know, he's such a tough guy, such a great competitor, and I'm sorry it ended like it did.
You were hitting him with low kicks, like real low, towards the bottom of the calf. Is that what caused that injury, you think?
Absolutely. It was the very first kick I threw.
You felt it give?
I felt it hit my shin. You know, we worked this camp on kicking the calf extremely low, so he couldn't catch my kicks and take me down.
Well, this is a big victory for you, Jamie Varner, former WEC champion, a real world-class lightweight. How does this feel, and where do you feel this puts you in the division?
You know, I don't know, man. Jamie's such a good competitor, and it's really an honor to fight somebody like him. I have no idea where it puts me, man. I just want to keep fighting and get better.
Well, congratulations on getting back on track. Congratulations on a big victory. James Krause, ladies and gentlemen.
James Krause with the victory over Jamie Varner. There is UFC bantamweight champion Renan Barao, who's proven to be as dangerous pound for pound as any fighter in the world. Tonight, the Brazilian looks to defend his title for the 4th time. His opponent is TJ Dillashaw. Winner of 5 of his last 6 fights, the Team Alpha Male star, described as the meanest guy at the gym, is driven and determined to bring the belt back to Sacramento, California. Tonight we are live in Las Vegas for UFC 173, Barao versus Dillashaw. Speaking of bantamweights, 2 of the hottest bantamweights in the UFC, hard-hitting Francisco Rivera and Takeya Mitsugaki are about to battle right here in Las Vegas in the world-famous Octagon. Bantamweight sluggers Francisco Rivera and Takeya Mitsugaki haven't tasted defeat in their last 10 combined fights. One will see their streak in tonight, but for the winner, it's a major move into the 135-pound title picture.
リベラも僕も連勝中で調子いいですし、そういう意味で激しい試合になると思います。
You know, I'm a top contender in the bantamweight division, and hopefully knocking out Takeya, it puts me right there in title contention.
California's Francisco Rivera fights like he's double parked, always looking for a fantastic finish. And more often than not, he gets it, knocking out Edwin Figueroa and George Roux in his last 2 UFC fights, increasing his unbeaten streak to 6.
The fight tonight against Takeya Mitsugaki is going to be a war. You know, he likes to bring it. I like to bring it. He's going to come out and swing with his right hand, left hook. It's a combination. I'm just going to step back and knock him out.
After an erratic start to his UFC campaign, former WEC star Takeya Mitsugaki has become one of the most consistent and best bantamweights competing in the Octagon, with his 4-fight winning streak, including decisions over Brian Caraway, Eric Perez, and Nam Phan.
今晩の試合の鍵となるのはやっぱ距離だと思うので、そこに気をつけて戦いたいです。今晩リベラをノックアウトしたいと思います。
Always emotional, Francisco "Cisco" Rivera. His initial opponent was TJ Dillashaw. TJ fighting for the title later tonight, but he meets up with a very hot Takeya Mitsugaki. Rivera on a 6-fight unbeaten streak since he has returned to the UFC.
And that puts Rivera in a very interesting position because he's got to think, man, if I was about to fight TJ Dillashaw,
Right.
TJ Dillashaw's fighting for the title, I got to be close to a title shot.
Absolutely.
And and what's interesting about this is that he's the underdog here in this fight against Mitsugaki, which I thought was kind of odd. I think Francisco Rivera is an outstanding Muay Thai striker. He's got great techniques as far as his kicks, his punches, his elbows, great at mixing it up. And his last fight with George Roop was a barn burner. Just a real fun fight to watch. And before that, the Edwin Figueroa fight, more of the same. Francisco is a dynamic, really aggressive fighter who I believe is getting better.
And Joe, the one thing in both those fights that you just described, which really needs to be, focused on, is the fact that in both those fights, Rivera had to weather an early storm. He came back to win those two battles.
And was very, very aggressive in those fights. He was really actively trying to finish those fights and pushed very hard in both of them. Absolutely exhausted after the Roop fight. I mean, it was just a great, great performance by Rivera.
Francisco Rivera. 19 professional wins for Takeya Mitsugaki. He has never been knocked out, and he is on a great streak of his own, coming off a performance against Nam Phan in which he landed over 150 significant strikes.
Yeah, he is really on a roll, Mike. Eric Perez beat Nam Phan in his last fight. Brian Caraway before that in a very close split decision. And we got to see him compete several times in the WEC as well, including losing a 5-round bid for the title against Miguel Torres when Torres was at his best. Mitsugaki's a very good boxer. He's very durable, very, very tough guy, and as we said, a lot of experience against high-level competition. He's been in there against Jeff Hearn, Scott Jorgensen, Uriah Faber. He's been in there against some of the elite, both at 145 pounds and lighter.
With the win, he would make it 5 straight in the bantamweight division. The only guys with better winning streaks at 135 than that, Rafael Assunção, 6, Renan Barao, 7 going in to tonight's title defense. So Rivera and Mitsugaki both must feel, Joe, like this might be the winner is the next in line fight for a shot at the belt.
Absolutely. I mean, you've got to think that if Mitsugaki is the odds-on favorite in Vegas, slight favorite, but still the favorite, and then, TJ Dillashaw, who is the original opponent, is now fighting for the title. Both guys are knocking on that championship belt door.
Takeya Mitsugaki and Francisco Rivera. Our tail of the tape for this bantamweight fight. Mitsugaki is 30, Rivera is 32, and will have a slight reach advantage. With the official introductions, once again, here is the veteran voice of the Octagon, Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is 3 rounds in the UFC bantamweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record, 10 wins, 2 losses, 1 no contest. He stands 5 feet 8 inches tall, weighing in at 135 pounds. Fighting out of Buena Park, California, Francisco Cisco Rivera Jr. And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a Muay Thai kickboxer holding a professional record, 19 wins, 7 losses, 2 draws. He stands 5 feet 7 inches tall, weighing in at 135 pounds. Fighting out of Kanagawa, Japan, Takeya Mitsugaki. And when the action begins, our referee in charge, Yves Levine.
Yves Levine, our referee. The beautiful Vanessa. Ariani and Brittany. Mitsugaki against Rivera. Here we go. Black trunks for Francisco Rivera. Red trunks for Takeya Mitsugaki.
And Mitsugaki employs more of a boxing style striking. Whoa,
he got hit early.
Rivera tagged him with that left. Whereas Rivera, much more Muay Thai oriented. Throws a lot of kicks, a lot of knees and elbows. Mitsugaki does as well, but really shines in the boxing.
Clipped him a bit with that right hand, too. Rivera finding the range early. Mitsugaki has never been knocked out. And he said after the Chris Carriasso fight, things started to change. He kind of tweaked his training, Joe, and he's been really good since then. Both men on strong, unbeaten streaks.
Well, that's what MMA is all about, is changing after losses, refocusing, trying to figure out what was wrong, what needs to be improved, what needs to be added to your camp. And it's a fascinating thing to watch guys grow and develop. And we've seen that from Rivera as well. And I think the Francisco Rivera that we saw in the George Root fight was clearly the best Rivera we've ever seen inside the octagon. That was a beautiful uppercut to the body there by Rivera. Mixing it up nice. Good right hand by Mitsugaki, though.
It's not what happens to the man, it's what the man does when it happens to him. Over the top
Mitsugaki tagged him with a big right hand. Rivera's in trouble.
And the uppercut. Looking to finish the fight. Mitsugaki all over Rivera.
Rivera is in all sorts of trouble, Mike. All sorts of trouble.
Two big shots by Takeya Mitsugaki.
He's holding on to the two arms of Mitsugaki here, really for dear life, trying to clear the cobwebs. Mitsugaki cracked him with a right hand. The eyes rolled back. I mean, that was close. And I don't know if Rivera has recovered yet, but the more time that he can get in this position, just sort of hanging on, the better for him. And for Mitsugaki, I'm shocked he's not just flailing here, just wailing on Francisco.
He's going all out, right?
I mean, I guess he's trying to pace himself, and obviously very confident in his skills that he can do it again.
Working out of the half guard, utilizing the Turk for top position. But he put Rivera on his back with a couple of big shots. Francisco holding on to those arms.
Well, this is a huge gift for Rivera.
Absolutely, and he's up.
He's back up to his feet again. Well, that's a huge gift for him. I mean, Mitsugaki just let him back in the fight.
It's that fine line, Joe. You try to finish it and potentially burn yourself out, or do you pace yourself? You never know what the right decision is. Here, Mitsugaki may have made the right decision. We don't know yet.
Well, and again, Mitsugaki very confident in his ability to do that again if they're standing.
Great point.
So just taking his time and already drawn first blood. Without a doubt, had Francisco in all sorts of trouble.
Let's go, guys. Work.
Nice knee to the body and a takedown by Rivera, but Mitsugaki right back up to his feet.
One minute.
A huge big leg kick by Rivera. And that's what I thought coming into this fight was going to separate the two, was Rivera's Muay Thai. Yeah. But the right hand of Mitsugaki changed everything. Good duck under right there by Rivera. Excellent head movement.
So Francisco was in some trouble early, but it appears he will make it to the end of round number 1. 20. Knees to the body by Rivera, just falling a bit short.
Nice takedown by Rivera. On top, couple of big elbows.
Yep, 2 takedowns for Francisco in this round. Final seconds.
Good head movement from the ground. Look at this.
Rivera's right in this fight, Joe.
Yeah, he's recovered for sure, but that's a wild first round, and he was very close to being out. We'll take a look at it in between rounds.
Breathe. Good, good. Power, power. Okay. Breathe, breathe. Move around. Okay. Don't grab him, but step back a little bit. You can take him out.
And here's the big right hand of Mitsugaki. Very short right hand. Perfectly placed right behind the ear. Rivera wobbled, left hook behind it. That last right hand just clipped him.
Francisco looked like he was stepping on the gas pedal. Full throttle at the end of that round, though. Round number 2, Rivera, Mitsugaki. Two of the hottest bantamweights in the UFC today. And don't forget, Dominic Cruz could re-enter this conversation as well. We hope the former champ comes back from that long layoff due to injury.
It's just crazy how many injuries that poor guy's had to deal with, but I guarantee you he'll be better when he comes back.
Could be Cruz against the winner of this fight. Mitsugaki tagged Rivera early in round 1.
I'd like to see Rivera get back to those kicks. There he goes, right to the head.
Good call, Joe.
Threw that question mark pick. Fake low and went up high with that one, Mike. Oh, he tagged him
again. Little blood from the left part of the face of Takeya Mitsugaki. Might have been that kick even, as he came down.
Francisco's just waddling in, or wading in rather, with his hands down.
But he's done damage now to Mitsugaki.
He certainly has, but he's got to be careful. Mitsugaki's still in this fight. And he most certainly hurt him, but Mitsugaki's still very steady on his feet and still has his power.
Cut above the left eye of Takeya Mitsugaki. Little slip and rip for Rivera. And again,
he tagged him with a nice left hook there, Mike. He just shook off his right hand, though. Did you see that?
Yep.
He's had problems with it before. He's broken his hand before. He's going for a guillotine.
Trying to lock it up.
He does not have guard, though, Mike. In order to get real leverage on this, he's got to wrap his legs around the waist of Mitsugaki, and right now he doesn't have it. And if he's burning out his arms before he gets there, very difficult to submit a guy like this with a half guard. I mean, you have to have like a Marcelo Garcia type squeeze to pull this off in half guard. And again, if this doesn't work out, he's on the bottom.
And like we said in round 1, Joe, again, it's that fine line. Do you go for the finish? Potentially burn yourself out if you don't get it.
He let go, and now he's on the bottom,
there's
just like we said.
Yep, there's the answer. So let's see the top game of Mitsugaki. He had the half guard Turk control early in the fight, round 1, after the big punches connected on Rivera.
There's a lot of space there. Rivera's got to move. He's taking big, deep breaths there. You can see him heaving, and that's because he went for it. And that is the thing about guillotines. They require a tremendous amount of energy, and your arms burn out. And Mitsugaki's letting him back in.
He's really breathing heavy here. Mitsugaki on top, under 2.
It's going to be an interesting fight to score.
Very even in significant strikes landed.
Evil Levine is just kind of letting them hang out here. I like that he lets guys work, but these guys are, this is a weird position here.
Mitsugaki
not very active on the ground. There he goes. Mitsugaki tagged him with a good shot. Mitsugaki trying to take his back. Looking for the choke.
Got a lot of time to work here.
Rivera's got to get out of this position. Most of the guys who face Mitsugaki don't really worry about his submissions. It's not something that he's known for.
Right.
But obviously he has them.
He's got 1 career win by submission, but that doesn't mean that he can't finish people with chokes and locks. They train everything, the modern day mixed martial artist. Cisco really pushed his cardio and his ground game for this fight. And right now he's in defense mode.
Well, for a guy who's thinking about challenging for the world title, you can't allow yourself to stay in this sort of a position like this. He's only got one hook in. You got to adjust, you got to move, you got to turn towards the choke, you got to throw that left leg over. He doesn't have that second hook in, and now he's just sort of squeezing. I mean, okay, Mitsugaki's going to wear himself out because it's just going across the face, but Francisco gave up the second half of this round.
Right. Final seconds.
I mean, he must have been absolutely exhausted after going for that guillotine. It's the only thing that makes sense. Or he's decided that he needs to knock him out, and he's going to save it all for the third round.
Hey.
I want to hear about his hand.
Right? Yeah. You got to run your hands now. It's going to be really, really close. Hey. Run your kicks to the legs now. Mix it up a little bit, okay? But you gotta run those pulls. Run your hands. You can beat him with your hands. Don't think that he's better hands than you. You gotta go on your hands to beat him, okay?
Listen, if this goes to the ground, you gotta turn into a defensive wrestler, okay? I need you on top. Don't spend that round with your ass on the ground. You got me? Listen, you're doing great, but don't lose that round just because this guy's sitting on you. You had a great round until that point.
Hey, all he's using is that right hook, okay? Counter the right hook with that pull. The left side combo.
The corner of Francisco Rivera, looking to extend his 6-fight unbeaten streak. And Joe, this is a dynamic striker who scored 2 knockout wins in a combined 1 minute and 55 seconds inside the octagon back in 2011. He'd like to connect on Takeya Mitsugaki here tonight. The bantamweight battle continues. Third and final round. Mitsugaki and Rivera.
Interesting second round because Rivera had Mitsugaki hurt. He tagged him, went for a choke, lost it, but then the remainder of the round, Mitsugaki's on top, Mitsugaki's got his back. Didn't really take any damage, but in the judge's eyes, that could have easily neutralized all the work that he did earlier in the round.
Absolutely, especially at the end of the round.
Yes.
Rivera, as you said, Joe, might be looking for a big knockout here, having the knowledge that he's behind on the scorecards.
Yeah, he might have to.
Yeah, and looking for a big finish.
And for Mitsugaki, I mean, he would like to land that same big punch that he landed in that first round and had Rivera in all sorts of trouble.
Blood now on the right eye as well. Mitsugaki cut over both eyes. But it's rolling to the side, so it's not affecting his vision.
Mitsugaki just caught him with a nice straight left.
4 straight wins for Takeya Mitsugaki. 6-fight unbeaten streak for Rivera.
Oh! Nice kick and a nice punch.
Perfectly timed by Mitsugaki.
Yeah, he ate that kick and landed a straight right.
And now once again in top position.
Rivera seems oddly lethargic, Mike. I wonder if he came into this fight sick or injured or something, because this just does not seem like the same Francisco Rivera that we saw against George Root. Just the fact that he just sort of laid in that position the entire second half of that second round.
Especially for a fighter who said that he really pushed his cardio for this camp.
You never know.
Never know.
I mean, so many fighters stepping in the octagon, injured, sick, and they never say a word about it.
Some of them leave as the welterweight champion.
Yeah. Yeah, he had a torn bicep.
Yeah, right?
How about that?
Yep, Johnny Hendricks.
Beat Robbie Lawler with a torn bicep.
Robbie Lawler up next against the juggernaut, Jake Ellenberger.
Oh my goodness, I can't wait to see that.
Top position, very dominant, is Takeya Mitsugaki tonight. Over a round of time spent in top position.
Yeah, I don't know what Rivera is thinking here, but he has got to go for broke. He very likely lost the second round, definitely lost the first round. I don't know what he's thinking. And for Mitsugaki, he probably thinks he's got this in the bag. Right. Stay on top, hit him with some short punches, don't take any chances. You're a few fights away from a title shot, but You know, to win and win decisively puts you in the mix for a title shot. To win like this, not so much.
And how much damage did Mitsugaki really do with that combination in round one?
Yeah, it could be that.
Right.
Yeah, Francisco's still
struggling with that. Yeah. Because when you talk aggression, you talk Francisco Rivera.
Yeah, this is really boring, and that's rarely said about a Francisco Rivera fight. He knows how to get up. I mean, he knows how to hip escape. Look, he's putting his hands up, but get up, man. You know how to get up. Get this guy off you. You got a foot on the hip. Explode. Move. You know, try to sweep. Go for, you know, dive under. Do something. I know he's tired, but if it's way better to take a chance and lose than to lose like this.
Yep. Just over a minute.
Yeah, a minute to go. And Steve Levine stands him up.
All right, this might be Francisco's opportunity, Joe.
Well, Francisco has got to do something truly spectacular here.
Got a swing to finish this fight. And he got tagged.
Both guys got
out of here. 40 seconds.
This is what everybody wants to see.
Rivera looking for an angle, looking for an opening. Under 30 now.
And Mitsugaki faked with the takedown, tagged Rivera with a right hand afterwards.
$15. It's now or never for Francisco Rivera.
Boy, he's winging it now.
Yeah, he is.
Woo. Tucking
So
that
is
chin
Mitsugaki.
and slinging it.
What a way to finish. A slugfest at the end. The fight goes the distance.
Let's go back to the first round, and this is where Mitsugaki was really successful. This right hand right behind the ear. And here's a takedown by Rivera. And there's a left uppercut, and then a straight right hand behind it from Mitsugaki. And this is a wild exchange at the end of the fight, where both guys were just letting it fly. Not the most technical approach, but fun to watch.
Here's Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. The judges score the contest 29-28, 30-27, and 30-27 for the winner by unanimous decision, Takeya Mitsugaki.
Mitsugaki wins again and moves up the bantamweight ladder with a unanimous decision victory over Francisco Rivera. Now it is 5 straight for Takeya Mitsugaki. The longest active win streak in the UFC bantamweight division belongs to the champion, Renan Barao, who hopes to push that to 8 later tonight. Then his Sun Sao is 6, and now, as we mentioned, Mitsugaki with his 5th straight win in the UFC's